Welcome to Never Have I Ever. I'm so excited to have this wonderful panel of comedians with me today, and more will come as we go on. I want to introduce this wonderful group of people I have right now. First gal I'm going to introduce, she is a comedian who is learning TikTok, Samantha Bednarz. Nice to have you. I've known Sam for years. She's a delight. And this next guy, he is it's a regular at the Cellar and will be whenever they open up again. Fabulous comedian coming to us from the Hollywood Hills, Dan Naturman. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
The hair is the longest I've ever seen it, but I don't dislike it. Yes.
That's why I'm wearing this hat, because I haven't had a haircut in 2.5 months.
I'm feeling it. And our next comedian has a show on Barstool Sports every Monday and Thursday called Everybody is Awful. Jim Florentine. Hello, Jim.
How's it going?
Good to see you. And last but not least, and probably not last, if more people come, he has a show coming out on Netflix soon, or a special. It's called The Sleepover with Will Noonan. I think I butchered that.
That's bad. That's the way it is. It's all those things.
I like The Sleepover with Will Noonan.
Yeah, we'll call it that. I'm in it for like 3 minutes. We'll call it my film.
I love it. I love seeing everybody with the long hair. I'm really feeling it. It's like we have all these virile men up in here.
You digging it? I think
I got one haircut so far. My friend's wife cuts hair, so I went to her house a few weeks ago and got a cut. But
I like it.
Yeah, I'm getting mine cut tomorrow, and I'm kind of worried about it. It's been a long time. I can't believe I thought about cutting mine, and I was like, I didn't want to fuck it up. But it's weird. Like, it's weird that you can get 500 haircuts in your whole life and never learn one thing ever about how to cut hair. Like, I didn't even know where to start if I wanted to cut my own hair.
Yeah, it's like, it's unique in that way. Like, you could watch somebody cook 500 times, like make a grilled cheese, and you would have some idea how to make a grilled cheese. But with haircuts, it's just like, you don't know what's going on back there. You don't know what they're up to.
Yeah. They go like this a lot. They use their fingers, and then they cut off they go like this. So, I'm sorry, because with the
your hands disappeared.
Yeah, it was a virtual background. I guess I gave away the fact that I don't live in the Hollywood Hills.
Oh, no.
I put one on the other day, and I looked like half my face disappeared, and I was just blue. It was like these wacky blue eyes, and like I looked like an alien. I was just like, forget it.
Like, I can't keep up with these kids. I'm going to introduce the newest comic to join us here. Gosh, we really bonded last summer when we did a baby shower show together out on Long Island. We had to do comedy for what was going to be the birth of 2 twin baby girls. Probably best baby shower show experience of my life. Carla Oakerson, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
We were just talking about our haircuts. Will is about to get an illegal haircut tomorrow somewhere. Yeah.
I got an illegal manicure.
Where? No. Is it a gel?
It is. It's gel. Look.
Do you live in Merrick, Carla? Because Merrick has been getting some shit lately, I guess, for being, racist. I mean, it's like, I don't know why they wouldn't just tag Long Island as a whole, but.
Well, I live in Freeport, which is where all the Merrick people are telling the black people to go back to.
Oh, boy.
They're like, go back to Freeport. And I'm like, hey, we all live in peace here. What's the problem?
Everyone should go to Freeport. The Nautical Mile is there. It's wonderful.
I know. I'm like, why are you guys shitting on us?
Yeah, it's wild.
It's wild. All Merrick has is Trader Joe's. Who gives a shit about Merrick?
Yeah, Merrick is great. But it's okay. We're here, guys. We're gonna take a break from the craziness of the world, and we're gonna have a drink. Or if you don't drink, that's okay. You don't have to relapse here on the Zoom. You can just have some weed or a unsweetened iced tea. It's all good. We're gonna play Never. That may or may not have happened on a previous Zoom, but that's okay. We all played this game before, Never Have I Ever. The gist is, if you would say Never Have I Ever.
It's a drinking game?
It is a drinking game.
Oh, then I gotta go get a drink. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I thought we were just drinking to relax. I'll go get a drink.
I haven't played this in like 25 years. So I'm definitely
Dan, go get a drink. That is specifically why we are playing it now. We're bringing it back. We're taking it from the kids. We're we're not going to learn TikTok, but we can do this.
I feel
Is that
like a fucking idiot on TikTok. I literally just put up videos of my cats and people love that shit. I'm like, all right, good.
Do you dance on there? Have you danced?
No, I'm definitely not fucking dancing on there.
All right.
I get
respect
caught up.
that.
I am yet to watch to watch anything new on Netflix or on anything. I've not like binged a show or anything. Haven't watched a thing. I've literally been following people's stories on TikTok. Like there are people like who are like fostering cats and then one of them disappears and I'm like, what's gonna happen next? I'm like,
as far as TikTok goes, nothing is gonna beat. It was, like, and it's still a trend, I'm sure. The trend of family dances, like family choreographed. Everyone gets a line. They do a dance.
They're pretty fun.
And then there's someone behind them. So my favorite one of all time is this long family. There's like 9 fucking people in this family. And then it gets to the very last one at the end. It's a mom and she's got a special needs daughter on her knee. Like we're talking not Christopher Walken. We're talking, who's the guy who fell off the
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves level handicapped here. And the mom takes the girl's arms and dances for her and then tosses her to the side. And that is my favorite thing on TikTok. I'm sure they've taken it down at this point, but I
love what's his name? The fucking horse, the fucking
the horse guy
uses a straw to move around. Fucking Superman.
Yeah. And jumping in, so glad to see her. She is a co-host of the Let's Get Loud show.
Hi, everyone.
With Larry Bea. Josie, good to see you, girl.
Hi, good to see you guys. Sorry, I was having some issues. So it turns out I just had to update my app.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah,
I was really nervous because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to help.
No, it wasn't you.
Do we all have a drink?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I bet you're drinking whiskey. I feel like you're a whiskey
I thought
guy.
Jim was on the wagon.
Oh, wait, you don't drink?
I drink, but I'm not drinking tonight though. I've been keeping it, not drinking too much during the quarantine.
That's good. I
I live by myself, so it's weird to drink alone.
What about your kid?
Yeah, but my kid, he's here, but I don't want to drink with a 9-year-old either.
That's one way of making sure he becomes a comedian too.
Oh my God. I gotta learn sometime. This is great. All right. So if anybody's unsure about Never Have I Ever, you can say a thing you've never done, but it usually is more fun if you say a thing that you have done. That way you can talk about the story behind it. So I would say like, never have I ever, I don't know, like slept till 2 p.m. And if you've done it, you take a drink. And if you have a particularly interesting sleeping till 2 p.m. story, you should tell it. And that's
take
how
a drink
that goes.
if you have done it, or if you
take a drink if you have done the thing.
Oh, okay.
So you want to tell us? You want to say like a never have I ever say something, and then you want to make sure you're saying something that's something you've actually done, so you could tell the fun story with it.
Yeah, unless you're really good at improvising.
Doesn't have to be.
So basically, if we didn't do it, we don't take a drink.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all sexual.
It doesn't, people ask this every single week if it has to be sexual. I don't know what it is about. No, it definitely does not. It definitely can be. It can be asexual. It can be non-sexual, bisexual.
He was disappointed. He was like, "Oh, all right."
Like 40 sexual. Never have I ever.
Yeah,
I'm prepared for this.
This is separate from the wet spot. This is its own beast. Yeah. So I'm gonna start with one that I just realized in the shower. I know I'm coming to you like soaking wet. Sorry about that. Okay, so never have I ever driven under the influence of alcohol in a car. Never ever drink and drive.
Let me see who's.
Yeah, as opposed to a train or a truck.
A
tram, Zamboni.
I don't drive.
Definitely ridden in more than I've.
Than
I've driven.
Driven around with people who were hammered driving.
That's a big part of growing up. That's a big part of growing up. Is like the first couple times you do that, you're like,
done it in my 30s.
You guys are like, we've been drunk passengers. Come on, that doesn't
I've been a
count.
drunk passenger with a drunk driver, and somebody turned down a one-way street. Now it's like, this is gonna go. I'm so glad we're still alive. So
I've definitely felt like that.
All right, so we've all been drunk passengers.
I was driving one time. We had a keg tapped in the back seat. My friends were drinking in the car with a keg in the back. They got pulled over, and the cop was like, he's like, I go, look, I'm not drinking from it. I go, I told him not to open, to start the keg, and he's like, all right, just get home, because I said I only live like a mile away. But meanwhile, I had a couple of beers off it too. We're just driving around and drinking. That's what we did.
Yeah.
We're in our early 20s.
How could you carry a keg into a car?
We got it from the liquor store. It was sitting in the back seat. It tapped in the back seat.
And then you just tapped it back there. Jim, where was that?
It was in Jersey, of course. Yeah.
There it is.
Jim, you have a joke about a cop saying, "Have you been drinking?" I don't know if that was based on a real life experience. And then your answer was, "You see a fat chick in the car?"
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I don't know if that was my joke or Larry the Cable Guy, because he started doing around the same time. I know I didn't steal it from him. It was pretty simple, joke or whatever. But yeah, I used to do that one.
What was the joke? What was it again?
You tell it, Dan.
Say he got pulled over by a cop. Cop said, "You've been drinking?" And I said, "You see a fat chick in the car?"
Are you drunk? He said, "Are you drunk?" And I said, "You see a fat chick?"
Oh.
It was early 90s.
Funny.
That was the kind of joke you did.
Don't be ashamed. It's a good joke.
No, it is, but it's, it wouldn't work now.
No, it's too politically incorrect these days to talk about fat chicks.
Well, you got two things going, the weight issue and then also driving drunk,
And also chicks, which is a touchy subject.
Can you not see chicks anymore?
In 1993, the first college I ever did in like a SUNY Purchase up in upstate, like Albany or whatever, they didn't want to pay me because I said the word chick.
No.
A joke.
Holy shit.
Because I used to have long hair, so I said I got pulled over on the way here, and the cop said, "You know why I pulled you over?" I go, "Because I look like a chick, because I had long hair down on my shoulders, like blonde hair." And they withheld my pay for like a month because I said the word chick. This is in 1993.
That's crazy.
It was the first college I ever did for New York Entertainment. It was a big company back in the day, and they're like, "You can't do that joke." I go, "I can't do that joke. I was making fun of myself."
What a fucking chick move.
That's crazy, man.
They're like, "Oh, we thought you said chink." Oh. Anyway, you're free to go, Shane. Yeah. Wowie.
Wow.
All right. Let's see. Never have I ever. I was gonna say cut myself, but I don't know if we want to go there.
You go, Jim.
Wow.
I haven't. Actually, no, wait, I haven't. I was thinking of things I haven't done.
What do you mean, like intentionally cut yourself?
Yeah, like
or
with
just...
that, like
Oh,
shaving
like
my legs.
Cut yourself.
I like,
because I've accidentally
I took
done
it
it a
somewhere
million.
else.
Yeah, I thought, I was like, wow.
Oh, I thought you meant like, you're like, ah! You gotta wear long sleeves in August, like.
Yeah.
My favorite movie's The Craft. Yeah.
Black and white photography. Those chicks are always into black and white photography. It's like, you're not the first person who thought of that, like.
Oh, that's you, Sam.
I took that. That's black and white. I feel real dumb.
You ever shoot through a chain link fence? That's the other one. It's like no one's ever thought of shooting.
Of course, when you're a photographer, you have to give the people what they want. From the 90s.
Okay, never have I ever made out with like a waiter or a waitress after a show.
It's a
Okay.
mistake, though.
Can anybody
you
one
hear
up
that?
that?
You ever heard that Bob Hope quote about that?
No.
It's like Bob Hope said, "Don't try and bang the waitresses." He's like, "Work on your act, get famous, and you can bang all the waitresses you want." That was like his.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say you could bang the owner of the club.
Yeah.
You can bang movie stars. So he's like, but I always just think it's a bad idea because it's like if it goes bad or something bad happens, it's just you just see them for sometimes years. Sometimes you see those same waitress for years.
Well, if it's a club in the city, sure. But if it's a club on the road, you may or may not go back to.
Yeah.
The risk is less in any case because you're not there all that much.
So
And
you
they're probably.
That's true.
Dan, you'd sooner bang a road waitress than a
Well, I'm
city.
saying it's safer because you're not going to see them every day or every week or, the seller. I worked with these people for years, so it would be more problematic.
Yeah.
I've only done it a handful of times, and 2 of the times the waitress said, "I've only done this twice before. You and Joe DeRosa."
Where were you? Will, where were you?
One was definitely in Connecticut, and I think the other one was in upstate New York.
Oh my God, that's great.
Or Pennsylvania. Might have been Scranton, Pennsylvania.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Usually the rule of thumb with the waiters, like on the road clubs, if they were really nice to you and were like flirting with you, like she has to be new, because every comedian has hit on us. They're usually sick of the comedians because every week they got these 3 new comedians hitting on them with the same dumb lines. So you're like, oh, this has to be a first week. And you always go, how long are you working? Oh, I just started last Saturday. I love it. I'm like, there you go. Of course. I go, wait till we come back in a year. She'll be disgusted. She won't even.
Giving you the rubbery chicken. Yeah.
Yeah. Opening the green room door like this much. You need anything?
Yeah.
It's got to be nice to be a man. I think it'd be fun.
Why would it?
I feel like even
what does
when I
that
was,
mean? What do they do to
when
you?
I was single, I didn't feel like I could. Well, that's the thing is like there's far fewer like waiters than waitresses at comedy clubs.
Yeah.
So.
And it's more sketchy because like I've even hung out with the waiters just to like smoke weed, and even I've been like, man, I gotta. By the end of the night, you're like in some weird apartment. There's like guns. It's like an American flag, you know what I mean? It's like upside down. He's like, I got stuff behind that. I can show you if you want to see it. You're like, no, I'm good. It's always Nazi paraphernalia.
My weird story with that was that it was years and years ago. I was at a club, and one of the waiters took a liking to me, and a bunch of us went out after the show, and we all got hammered, and we wound up like making out. But I didn't know that the booker had a really big crush on him, so I never worked there again.
Oh
so
no!
I was like, well, it is what it is. I didn't know that going into like 6 shots and making out with some random waiter.
Oh
so
yeah.
I was on the other side of that because I was a waitress at the comic strip for a while. So do I drink because I did make out with comics?
Oh. Yes, you would do double.
I would drink twice.
That was always dangerous. That was always dangerous going out drinking with the staff because they were professional drinkers and they would drink so much, like you said, Samantha. You had 6 shots, like they do that every night. That's their life, and they try to keep up with them. Like, oh my God, and they sleep till like 2 in the afternoon and go to work at like 5, so they're fine.
They'd be great at this game.
Oh yeah.
We have so many great stories.
Carla, who's the best kisser of all the comedians you've made out with?
Joe DeRosa?
He was my roommate. I never made out with him. He was my roommate.
Wow.
It would be great if that was my answer though. Like Joe DeRosa. Isn't that what everyone says?
Yeah. And then we all slowly find out we're all here because we've made out with Joe DeRosa or like made out with someone who made out with him. Hey.
6
all
degrees of Joe
positive
DeRosa.
reviews.
Yeah. Dan, you took your hat off.
Yeah, I figured I would, just to get the hair going. Since you talked about the hair, I figured I'd let it go,
It's great. I like it.
Looks
It's like
good.
70s vibe. Yeah.
I feel like it really goes with the LA background.
Yes, yeah. Well, it's like boogie nights. Maybe.
Yeah, just throw in like a hair toss. Yeah.
Farrah Fawcett. It's got layers.
Okay. Josie, any never have I evers?
Shit. Never have I ever. I do have notes. Hold on. I do.
You're like, I have my
excuse
7th
me.
grade diary here.
You know what I mean? No, it's 5 in the morning. So I don't know if you guys know. I'm actually in Greece.
Oh, right.
now.
You're in Greece.
Right. So I
Oh,
actually had to set an
wow.
alarm to wake up like.
Oh my God, you should have never done this. Oh my God, I can't
Never have I
believe you.
ever woken up at fucking 4:30 a.m. to do a Chrissy Mayer show.
Wow, you did this for a Zoom. I have the utmost respect for you.
Hey, listen, I love this shit.
5 a.m.
It really is.
What is
Okay,
Greece like? Are there just goats running around outside? I have no idea.
Yeah, just not in Athens. I'm in Athens. I'm like in the city, in the capital. It's great, man. It's great. Things just started opening up here last week, like stores and department stores, clothing stores, and cafes and restaurants are just starting to open up with social distancing rules. And we'll see what's going on with the islands because Greece is counting on tourism a lot. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens with that.
Interesting times we're living
Yeah,
in.
yeah, I know. It's a wild, wild time. Wait, I had one. Never have I ever been arrested.
Nope.
It's a good one, but
One?
Yeah, I have
Really?
not.
Nobody?
Wow.
Wait, whoa. Wait, you just drank.
Yeah,
Will,
well,
right?
mine was like really short and quick.
Mine
like,
too. Mine too. I didn't go like.
So that's why you took
in
a
for
small sip?
murder.
Yeah, I took a sip because it was like it was like an hour and a half. My friend is actually it's like a very mundane story. My friend was like selling a lot of weed to like mostly people he knew, but he was selling a lot of weed and like he just started making a lot more money than he expected to make. So he was carrying around his like backpack with weed and all this cash in it. Like
Amateur
he had like
move.
he had like $11,000. He had like $11,000 in cash. So
Holy
when
shit.
when he got arrested or like got caught, he left the bag somewhere and someone looked at it and they called the cops. And when he got arrested, they assumed he was like some drug kingpin because he had all this cash and he had a good amount of weed. So they were like, when I texted him for weed, they were like, they were using his phone. They were like, yeah, come meet me here. Like I'm here. And I went and I had kind of a bad feeling about it. It was like one of those things where red flags everywhere, but I was like, I just want weed so bad. It was like, I even thought I heard a police radio, like in one of, like when I was getting near the car and I was like, I didn't hear that. Like I just ignored it. And they like arrested me and then just very quickly, they were cool about it actually, because I saw them figure it out. Like they were like, we didn't really catch anybody. This is just like a dumb kid who sold more weed than he expected to.
He's an entrepreneur, really.
Yeah, he had a weed. What's the word? A weed
owner.
windfall. Yeah, just
Weed fall.
He just sold it all. Yeah, a weed fall, and he didn't get in that much trouble either. He was out in a couple of days or something. But that was my big experience. It was scary though, and it was like maybe a year after I'd quit drinking, so it was so funny. I'd made it through like years of like really bad blackout drinking and didn't get arrested, and then like a year sober, I was like arrested. And I was like,
I love how Dan sneezed and then Zoom thought he was talking, and then so you see the yellow outline move to Dan just because he sneezed. Like if this were,
I actually welcomed any interruption. I was like, please stop this rambling.
Like if this were an office meeting, it would be like Dan sneezing, and then be like, "Did you have something to say?" All right, never have I ever. Oh no, I haven't blacked out. Fuck, I gotta pick something else. I've never blacked out.
Oh man.
Never ever had a sexual encounter with someone of the same sex.
all the girls and none of the boys.
Well then. Oh, Sam,
not all the girls.
Not all.
Sam, do you want one?
What about Carla? Did you drink? Because you weren't on my feed.
I did drink. It's all the girls.
Yeah, I couldn't see.
All the girls minus Sam, but we'll fix that.
Mine was just Mine was just Florentine. Like he was like, "Come on, Will, you gonna take a sip?"
Sexual experience or sex?
Experience.
Keep talking.
I'm just wondering if being in the same room with somebody that's having sex while you're having sex with another girl, so it's like two people here. I wouldn't count that, but if
This sounds like the beginning of a Louis story.
Yeah, it's like
I was just in the room
it was a
Well, now
guy
I want to hear the story.
having sex
with
where I could
himself.
see him, and I was having sex where he could see me.
Okay.
I don't know if you would count that or not, but
So that was like a group thing.
it was an experience that involved sex, but it also involved somebody of my sex, but I didn't touch him.
Okay.
So
So
make
You were
it
looking.
involved, you know. Pardon?
Were you at least looking at him?
I was looking
Longingly?
at them. I was looking at them.
Right.
Did you give them any? Did you like cheer them on? Did you say any like, "Hey, nice moves,
Yeah.
cowboy"?
No, no.
Any like high fives, you know?
No, in fact,
Yes.
I didn't love the experience. I would have preferred just to have been alone with the person I was with, but
Yeah, because when I was in a situation like that, I'm just kind of comparing myself to everybody around me. Like, these sex clubs are never what you think. It's like you think it's going to be eyes wide shut, and then instead you get there and you look around and you're like, oh, wow, everyone here looks like the janitor at my middle school.
Oh.
It's like you're all, but that's what's good about it. It's like, you worry like, oh, am I going to fit in with the sexiness? And then you get there. And like all of us on our worst day would be far and away the best looking person at these places.
well, there's a friend of mine and his wife go to this one place, but you have to get accepted and there's a process and it's higher end, you know.
Do you have references?
Like a membership.
Yeah, it's like a membership. I don't know how you get in, but it's a little bit higher end. You have to like apply and send pictures and this and that.
What is it called?
Killing Kittens.
Killing Kittens?
I don't know why it's called that, but that's what it's
Sexy.
Well, probably because like pussy, maybe. Like we're gonna kill that pussy.
Murdering the pussy.
So is it a club or is it
Yeah, but
like,
when you say kittens, it just sounds like it's underage.
Right.
Sounds like
Is this an Epstein thing? Yeah. Oh.
You gotta be 18, but I assume.
You gotta be
I think
18, but
they
no
mix
one's gonna
in.
check.
I feel like you know way too much about this, Dan.
Oh, my friend and his wife go.
Friend.
friend?
Is it the same friend you were watching? Wait.
A different friend, but those two are friends.
And are you
That friend?
Dan? What was your?
Doug
What was it
David
like?
Off and Andy Levine.
Dan, what was it like? So after you watched this couple have sex, do you keep in touch with them now? Like, do you see them?
One of them is Doug Davidoff. Who's a good friend.
Oh,
You know
from
Doug.
Crashing. Yes.
Well, another thing, sure. Yeah, he was having sex with somebody. I won't reveal her name. She was also
Crashing.
Was
She
she
was
also from
threesome.
Crashing?
No, but I don't want to reveal her name because she
Oh.
wouldn't appreciate it, but he wouldn't mind. So that's why I said his name.
Because it was,
Oh.
yeah, it was probably a low point for her and a high point for him.
That's probably about right.
That's how a lot of these comedy matchups go. Ugh, been doing it 10 years. I feel grizzled. That's exciting. I like that. Let's see. I'm just thinking about like application for a sex club. Like that actually would be a funny sketch.
I think they mix in prostitutes too. It's like they stock the pond like with male and female hookers to mix in with the swingers.
For sure, because I one time at a low point answered an ad on Craigslist for a job to work at one of these like secret sex clubs, like not just like a public one. And they were like, yeah, your main job is to like, make sure the towels are intact, pass out the towels, something water. But if you see anything you like, jump in. And then, yeah, I ultimately did not take the job. Because you cry in the shower 3 times in a row. You're like, all right, maybe I shouldn't do this. Yeah.
I was like I was a DJ when I was like 21, just like a bar, New York bars. And I did one of those. I worked one of those, and it was like, they didn't tell me where it was until an hour before. Like, and it was just in like a place where you would almost do a comedy show, like a function room, but they had all curtains everywhere and people would disappear behind the curtains and stuff like that. And all I did was play like Bon Jovi, Billy Joel, and Madonna. That's all they wanted me to play.
That's all they want to hear?
They wanted
Billy
like
Joel?
New York hits. Yeah.
At a sex party?
Fuck to Billy Joel.
I'll fuck to Madonna, but not Billy Joel.
Yeah, it was all like they wanted New York songs. I was like, all right, whatever you guys want to fuck to.
New York State of Mind.
Man.
Oh.
Wow. Was it like a theme night? Did they have bagels and lox out too?
Well, I didn't like really. I didn't really see anything myself. They everything was behind curtains. I was
Is
in
it a
like
dungeon?
the middle. They had a bar and me and like a couple like
And then-
prostitute chicks hanging around in this room, and then everyone would dip out.
Wow, I
And that
can't
was
believe they
it.
didn't tell you about that. I can't believe they didn't give you the heads up at all, because like the one comedy show that I did that was at a sex club, it was like the Brooklyn, whatever it's called, Brooklyn Sex Club Collective. It had some like lame name like that, you know, like, oh, or maybe it's called Not Safe for Work. And like we all fully knew it was like a sex club walking in, but we get there and like there was like no mic stand and the mic didn't work, so we had to shout. We had to like shout at these people, and then like no one's really having sex either. No one's really like,
Yeah.
people look like they like each other less than at a regular comedy club. It was the weirdest vibe.
Were they fully dressed?
Everyone was fully dressed, yeah. And I'm just like, I was almost like hoping, because I'm like, they weren't like engaged in listening or laughing. I was like, I would like somebody to start fucking just so we have some like noise in this room other than me. And it's like, and then at the end, the payment was like, there was this tray of like gemstone dildos, like crystal dildos. And like, yeah, there was, I could probably run and go get it right now. It's like, it's in my drawer. And I picked the amethyst one because I actually was familiar with this website, and I was like, oh, that one's the most expensive. But I was like, I would rather have the $280 than this crystal dildo. I mean,
I kind of want to see it.
Oh.
It's like, I've used it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Just talk amongst yourselves.
You gotta see it.
Clean it off before you bring it.
Just that she still saved it from that night, you know.
$280 dildo, you're not throwing in the trash.
Hey, listen, shit. Well, the sex clubs that I know, some of the sex clubs that I know that are private, request that you're only couples, like they only accept couples.
Don't they accept single ladies?
Too personal.
Just
some of them,
women
yeah,
alone?
they bring.
Yeah, but no men usually.
Yeah, no men, because the men are the
They'll turn into
creepers.
a sausage
Ooh,
party.
yeah.
You could literally
it's a
put that like on your coffee table and just be like,
Right. Nobody would know.
I mean, I don't know that, you know, there is a child that sometimes is in your apartment. So that's
Right.
Not okay.
Wait, let me see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was really quick, Crazy. We need to.
Well, I'm trying to not make this all about me. Okay. All right, Jim, your turn.
I never had sex with another comedian.
I gotta say, never have I ever.
Never have I ever had sex with another
Jeffrey.
comedian.
Never have I ever had sex with another comedian. Oh, come on, everybody's gonna drink.
Yay.
Wait, no, Samantha, you did not?
No.
What?
No. So no, wait. So before I was a comedian, and I still a little bit, I was a band photographer in the New York hardcore scene. So I'd take pictures of bands, and it's like, you know, like you wind up, you know, like getting involved with guys that are like, you keep like, you know, or like making out with a random guy from a band or something, but then you see them like every time you go to a show. And I was just like, I'm not gonna fucking do this in comedy. You know, it's just like I've made like, there's a couple of comics I've made out with. One of them's dead now, but like I'm not gonna fucking do this. I was just like, I saw way too many people in the beginning, like, you know, making out with each other. And then like 2 days later, we're like, oh God, I was just like, no, fine.
I think it's great.
I'd been involved in a shitty scene from before. I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, you see the same people at those shows, so it's the same audience at every one of them.
It's just weird, you know? So it was like, I've already been involved with shit. I don't need to be involved with shit in a whole nother scene that I'm in. So I'm good.
I think it's okay to hook up with somebody, but I think it's a bad idea to like date someone and like fall in love. But it does work out for some people, so you always have that argument.
Yeah, there are some comics who've married and shit. So
Tom Cotter. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of. I mean, there's like a handful of great couples.
Joe and Sarah, they're a good couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rich and Bonnie, someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Segura and his wife Christina out on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, they're together? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, they think they have a bunch of kids.
And Cynthia Corey, but Cynthia doesn't do it anymore. But she
Cynthia was a funny comic too. You know, she used to work at the comic strip, and we were performing there, Dan, back in the day.
Yeah, she was a waitress there too.
Yep.
We were pregnant at the same time.
Oh, were you?
Oh.
That's cool. At the strip at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So I married the comic that I dated, and I could tell you, from my experience, not a good idea. Don't do it. I don't recommend the experience. Don't. Just don't. Samantha's got the right idea. Just don't do it.
Would not
Hey, but at
recommend.
least you got a kid out of it, though.
4 stars.
She must be 18 by now or something.
She just turned 17, and she's one of the seniors getting fucked out of graduation this quarantine.
Oh no.
She's graduating on Saturday via YouTube.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
At least it's not a Zoom graduation she has to wake up at 5 a.m. for.
Right.
I can't decide if this is better or worse because it's all pre-recorded. So all they're doing is just like putting it on YouTube at 10 a.m. and then you can just watch it whenever you want. And I'm like, this is so weird.
like,
And I'm like, I'll get you a cake. You want bagels or something? And she's like,
You want bagels. I love that.
what do you want me to do? It's at 10 a.m.
I don't know. I feel like my own personal high school graduation was pretty like anticlimactic, you know? Like there was no like balloons. It was just like, all right. Yeah, because I was like the worst student of the 3 kids. So they were just like, all right, you did it. There was no like giant, balloons, like no Instagrammable moments. I saw like for one of these, I guess it's whatever drive-by like graduations, they had this like the faces of the graduating class like staked into the lawn, like a real estate person, or like, you know what they do when there's like someone running for office, they'll just like stick something in the lawn.
They're like on the seat of like a bus stop or something.
It's like that, but it's like a big sign, a poster, and it's like staked into the ground. They had done that for the whole high school class. And at first I saw the picture, I was like, oh my God, was there another school shooting? Because it looked like everyone, like this was like a memorial. I was like, that's not, my first thought was like, oh my God, all these kids are dead. But they were just graduating.
It's kind of would make good targets for a school shooter to practice on. It's like all the cardboard cutouts.
It does look like target. Wow. And it's flagged. All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry.
It's all right. It was gonna go that way anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Dan. No, we lost.
You're talking about him right
They
here.
cracked.
Right
Oh,
there.
there he is.
We lost. Did we lose someone? We lost. No, we're all here.
What happened to
Josie?
Dave Landau?
We lost Josie. And yeah, I don't know where Dave Landau is.
He never showed up.
I wonder if he
showed up.
is also in Greece. Should we do one on behalf of Dave? Let's see. What would Dave say?
Okay.
Never have ever moved in with Anthony Cumia.
Let's see. He's got a lot. He's got some good. That's why I wanted him to be
got
here
some
because
very
he's got
good
some
ones.
good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It
Probably
was
some involving police.
Okay, let's see. Carla?
Right. So, okay. So I feel like you guys are going to think this was done before, but never have I ever spent time in jail.
I've never. Wow.
I was
Oh.
never arrested.
Oh, you spend time in jail.
I spent time in jail because I worked in my past life, I worked as a criminal defense attorney. So I put in long hours doing trial prep with defendants. Sometimes I would put in 12-hour days in jail.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
But I was never arrested, but I spent weeks upon weeks upon weeks in federal prison.
Wait, what did you do
Whoa.
when you were in there?
What?
What did you do when you were in there?
I used to be a federal defense attorney.
So you would sit with clients for like 12 hours at a
Yeah,
time?
getting ready for trial.
Okay, right.
Oh.
So that was always my thing when I was on my way there. I'd call my mom, like, yeah, I'm on my way to jail. And she's like, stop saying that. Don't say that.
Would you go up to like another person, like another prisoner, and be like, and then you'd be like, what are you in for? And then wait for them to ask you back so that you could say, haha, I actually just work here.
Yeah.
No, you're the only one wearing regular clothes. Do you know that they don't let you wear khaki to jail?
No khaki?
No khaki. Can't wear khaki pants or anything that looks kind of khaki-ish because it looks too much like the jail uniforms. I guess I think you'll try to break them out. Yeah,
That's why you
there's
see
some jail facts.
Jail
That's why you
facts.
see. That's why you see so few college professors in jail. They love khaki. Never go.
And so few Best Buy employees.
Yeah, they're like.
No,
And
Will's was
Target.
better. Will's was better.
I like the Best Buy. State Farm. I would have gone with State Farm.
I like, but Will, I like your headphones. Looks like you're about to go running.
Yeah, this is it's kind of futuristic run.
I'm into it.
My $15 fake Beats by Dre, available on Amazon. They have a mic.
Okay. Let's see. I want to try to not repeat something. Never have I ever had a like a can't hardly wait style like party at my parents' house while I was in high school, like one of those kind of parties.
I never did that.
No.
Ooh.
The more I play this game, the more I realize like I've led a lame life. I'm like, ooh, a party.
But
Yeah.
I lived in an apartment.
Sorry, guys.
I didn't have any, like, it wasn't a big party. There was probably like 15 people for a New York apartment. That's pretty big. But like, I know I got really fucked up and I threw someone out. I know that happened. I don't remember why. I got someone out of my house.
Did your mom ever find out?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea. I used to also go to the bars and drink with my father though. So I don't know that they would be all too concerned with being like, oh, you had people over? And I'm like, yeah, some of them are still here. Like I had like a ridiculous curfew. I was like 16 years old with like a 3 a.m. curfew, which is almost like, what's the point?
Whoa, that's just like
damn.
come back before school.
And so all of my friends, their curfews were something like, like midnight. So that would be like, they'd all be like, I'm staying at Sam's. So my parents, but I'd wake up and there would be like 8 people sleeping like all around my room. It's like, so we'd all be out until 3 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
How welcoming.
And then I'd make everybody breakfast the next day.
Oh, that's nice.
I worked at a bagel store, so I would bring bagels home, and then everybody would have bagels and eggs.
Aw, that's nice.
I love bagels.
Love bagels.
Will, what are you watching?
I was actually thinking about bagels and eggs. I was like,
Okay. No, it's okay. Hey, I never said you guys couldn't do something else while you're doing this.
It's just the news. It's just the news. I was looking for riot footage. I was like, wonder what's going on. Is there any riots going on?
I think they've calmed down, I believe.
I think it was
I think
raining
so.
pretty hard today.
It was raining in New York, but there's a whole country, people rioting.
Oh, right.
There were some
Yeah.
good protests going on Long Island today.
Really?
Yeah. I think they took over Sunrise Highway in Merrick because I guess they were so unwelcome yesterday that they decided to try again to see if it went
Were they spraying self-tanner at everybody?
No, but that would have been hilarious. I wish they did.
And then like throwing stale bagels?
Does New York have an 8 p.m. Curfew?
Yes.
Yeah, not Long
Yeah.
Island.
Not Long
Really?
Island.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just New York City. Oh,
Oh.
I'm not sure. Chrissy, up by you, is there a curfew?
I don't think so, but also there's like nothing really going on here. There's no like
Right.
riots in Westchester. There's like one good mall and they're watching it. So
Is that the Galleria?
the Galleria is the shitty mall. The good mall
I have
is
no
the
idea.
Westchester
I know
mall.
that there's plenty of malls up there. I just don't know which. I have no idea which one is which. I know the Galleria is not far from you, though.
Yeah. The Galleria is not bad. They've got, like your
It's not great
Claire's. Yeah. It's not it wouldn't be my first choice to loot. I would probably, go for a Sephora. I'd get like some expensive skincare.
Oh yeah.
Did you see?
Never have
You see the other night, and I think it was in Seattle, like broke into that Louis Vuitton store and took all the bags.
Whoa.
Yeah, they went to a mall. Yeah, they
serious.
smashed Louis Vuitton just running in and out of there with the bags.
Can you imagine how like genuinely exciting that must be to be in there and you're like, we're going to get away with this, and these bags are like $2,000 and up pretty much. That's kind of thrilling. I get it, I guess. But then again, I don't know.
You think they keep
in the moment?
In the moment, it's probably exciting, and then you're like, "Oh shit, I'm on camera,"
Yeah. Then you're like, "How do I sell a fucking bag? Like, where do I go?"
Facebook Marketplace.
Hello.
There you go.
Amazon, eBay.
Yeah.
The corner.
Except you'd be like, I have a Louis Vuitton bag for sale. Wow. That's probably the best I'll do.
That was pretty good.
That was good, yeah. That's the
like
name
that
of the episode.
Louis Vuitton.
Those are expensive. Wow.
They are.
I saw someone try to steal a car and they tried to drive it like through the glass like that you would in a movie, and it just got all caught up. Just got all caught up in the glass. And
that was a Mercedes. That was a Mercedes dealership in Oakland. They tried.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, driving it right out of the showroom.
They didn't understand how titles work. Like,
yeah, they all have trackers now too. They all have like built-in low jack. Those cars.
Well, like the Apple stores they broke in, they said they were all like, models that are stored and they're not going to work. So everything they stole from there is set up where they have to get codes to get in there, so they can't use any of those computers and iPhones that they stole.
Oh, wow.
Well, I didn't realize it was an Apple store too. Probably every kind of store. Wow.
I heard about that. That's crazy. I think that's like worse.
I would be like, I'm just here to get a new phone cover. I don't want any trouble.
Yeah, right.
I just need some charger cords. Mine keep getting lost.
Yeah, like, honestly, these are $40, which is crazy.
That would be just handful of chargers, just nothing but cords, a lifetime.
Yeah, like you'd be like the Robin Hood of chargers. Just have like a sack full of iPhone chargers and just like
tossing them out to the people.
Giving them to homeless people.
Oh, that's just wrong. I know you don't need this, but
yeah,
maybe you hang yourself with it. It's fine.
Use it as a belt.
I always go dark. My T-shirt says Doom on it. I mean,
I like it. Did anybody not go?
I'll go
on task. Okay.
Never have I ever started a bar fight.
Yeah.
Ooh, girl.
Really? Nobody else? You've all fucked comedians, but nobody else.
I started a fight in a bar. I started a fight in a bar, but
that counts.
Yeah, it was so it was so I grew up in Yorkville, which is a neighborhood on the Upper East Side that is very blue collar. So it's just like it's when I tell people I'm from here, they're just kind of like, so you're from like you have money, and I'm like, no, it's all blue collar. Like my dad worked for the MTA kind of shit. So we were hanging out in a bar. I started hanging out in bars when I was like 16, and I don't know if I was of age or not. I might have been, but I have no idea. And the people I grew up with, like the girls were just as tough as the guys. So it's just like, so we're all hanging out in this bar. It was a neighborhood bar, and a bunch of guys walked in that weren't from the neighborhood. And so the guys started sizing them up, and they all started like puffing out their chests. But now all the girls are standing behind the guys, like as like backup. So we're all standing there.
Were they also puffing out their chests?
Probably. Now here's the thing. I can't fight for shit. I was also probably about like anywhere between like 8 and 10 vodkas in. So I was just like, my 20s, I drank like it was my job. Like I drank like somebody who worked at one of the comedy clubs. So I was sitting there, I'm drinking, I'm getting hammered. And my friend Tara, some guy started running his mouth, and my friend Tara said something to him. And he was just like, "What'd you say, you fat bitch?" And I was like, "You just called Tara fat?" And I picked up a beer bottle and I chucked it into the crowd. But I was so drunk that I wasn't seeing straight, and I chucked it at one of my own friends.
Oh, no.
The side of the head with a beer bottle, and nobody knew where it came from. And so the whole bar just erupted into a huge fucking fight, and I hid in the bathroom.
Wow.
Because I am a fucking chicken. I look and I sound like I'm tough, But a bar fight broke out, and I was like, I want nothing to do with this. I'm hammered. I will be in the toilet. Thank you. Goodbye.
That's like something out of a movie, you know?
It's there are many things that I feel like in my life that they feel like movie scenes, you know? And I'm just like, how did this? I don't even understand what the fuck. Like,
this is one of those moments right now.
I feel like my father would have been great at this game. He had some great stories. So, but
there must have been a lot of fights at those hardcore shows, though, right?
Oh, I mean, that was just I one time was at the Pyramid Club down on Avenue A, and a friend of mine was running shows there, and I was at the show, I was taking pictures, and I saw a fight break out in that place. Like, I saw a bar stool go. I watched the manager of this place get torn apart over him saying, "I'm not the waiter. The bartender will be right back." And I saw a bunch of dudes tear this guy apart. I saw like grown men fucking like kick the doors open. Like, I was just like, you guys have some fucking problems. You should probably all get into therapy. Like,
I guess they really needed to order.
I've definitely seen, I've seen so many at hardcore shows. I've seen people get like beaten almost to death, and I'm just like, I'm not going to take pictures of this because I'm going to get in trouble. Like, when I first started doing comedy, before I started doing comedy like this, I always wanted to do stand up, and a friend of mine was like, "Oh, Sam, like, I'm going to DJ and you're going to do comedy and blah, blah, blah." So sometimes I would like do comedy in between bands, which is how I learned how to deal with hecklers. Cause I was like, oh, like when somebody at a show, if somebody yells at me, I'm like, this is fine. Like, I had like tattooed psychos yelling at me. It's great. But at one show after the show, it was, I don't know exactly what happened, but I turned around and I saw a friend of mine pick up, he started fighting with the bartender, and he picked, you know, those plastic containers with all like the fruit and everything in it. He picked
up, like a bar thing.
He slammed it over the guy's head.
Oh, no.
I mean, like, broke it in half over the guy's head. And everybody was like, "Get the fuck out!" And we all ran. We ran across the street into Double Down Saloon. It used to be, I think, called Julep. And the cops showed up. My friend had to go into hiding in upstate New York for like 2 months. It was fucking crazy.
That's horrible.
Wow.
Limes are so expensive.
No, I've seen a good amount of people getting beaten up by other people.
One time when I lived in New York, I thought you know how you see Law and Order getting filmed all the time in New York? Like, I was like walking through Central Park, and I was like, oh, they're filming Law and Order. Wow, they're filming like a grisly scene, and it was just an actual real murder scene. They were taping. They had like the tape up, the yellow tape and everything, and it was like real.
You're like,
looked just like Law and Order.
Where's Stabler?
Yeah. I was like, where's Stabler?
Can I get an autograph?
It was like the same amount of people, a couple big white trucks. I was like, yeah, it's Law and Order.
Somebody slips the dead guy $90 for a day rate, you know, because you get paid to be a corpse, you know, like a dead body.
He's using it as his intro for the next couple of years. I was a dead body.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, dead bodies.
Good times. I was in movie extra once. Not worth it. Would not recommend to a friend.
I did it a lot. I did a bunch of it.
I did a lot of it.
Yeah.
$50 a day,
long day.
$25 a day. Yeah, I used to do a lot of it. TV commercials or movies and stuff. Extra work, yeah. 12, 14 hours wasn't worth it.
It's a lot. I stopped doing it because the first movie I did it was like we were underground. It was at a subway station. It was like the Grand Central by the 7 train, and we were there from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and it was like some movie with Jennifer Aniston, which doesn't narrow it down. But
that was like a while ago then, right?
It was something about cooking. I don't know. And then I watched it and I was like, no, I couldn't see myself at all. I was like, fuck this, you know? Like,
yeah.
People walk off it all the time. Like people just go, fuck this. Like, and at lunch, just leave.
Just walk out with like a Renaissance costume or like whatever.
With my paper jacket. Yeah.
I'm keeping this hat though.
Days are better than others. Like Law and Order for me, because I've done it a lot, especially the past couple of years. We can work like anywhere between 2 and 4 hours and then like be done. You know, it depends on the production company and like what they're filming.
Would you be done or would you be like dun dun?
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Let me think. Okay, never have I ever thrown up on public transit or even private transit.
Any transit.
Any transit.
All transit.
Dry heaved on a Greyhound.
All of it.
Really, Dan?
Pardon?
You heaved on a Greyhound, Dan?
Well, I heaved on a Greyhound, but nothing came out, so I'm not going to have a drink. Coming home from Foxwoods, and I had like food poisoning, and I had to get off.
no.
I was on my way from, I don't know, whatever it was, some sort of stomach flu. As I got on the bus, never made it back to New York City. Had to get off in New Haven because I just was feeling too shitty, and check into a hotel and spend the night in New Haven.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Were you sick on stage at all, or just?
No, it was the next morning when I got up after the show.
That's called a hangover.
No, but I hadn't really been. No, there's no hangover. The hangover. First of all, I wasn't really drinking that much, and second of all, it was. I know what stomach flu is, and this was.
Yeah, they're not pleasant.
You know.
Oh man.
A good cleanse, though. You always feel kind of good after.
You lose a couple of pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I love when I get the flu. I'm like 7 pounds down.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just eat some bad meat to lean out, you know.
Gas station sushi.
Yeah. How old is this? Damn.
Is this expired? Perfect.
Yeah. Let me get the stuff in the back. I one time threw up. God, it was like when I still lived in Long Island, and I was so. God, maybe before I was doing stand-up, it might have been my horrible improv years, but I was like so drunk. I like threw up, like, you know, the seats that like face each other. I threw up like so much, like probably like 2 pizza. You know what I mean? You know, when you see throw up and you're like, I know that's pizza. You know, it was like,
oh God,
many New York slices worth. And I was just like, nobody could tell. Like, I was so drunk that I thought if I just like got a napkin, I opened it up like a blanket and I just like gently like put it over it. And I was like, shh, you know, like thinking nobody, that's actually not even I've thrown up multiple times. Yeah. And the other time I threw up on the train was like pretty recently. Like I was doing a show with you, Sam, and I had this we had props, like I had a tissue box that like we had wrapped up to do this game.
Was this when you went out with a bunch? Was this the one where you went out with a bunch of the fans?
I think so. Yeah, I drank with a bunch of fans afterwards.
There's been a couple of times where you had a few.
Yeah, anytime I go out with like fans, it's like it never ends well because I can never turn down a drink. So I'm just like, yeah, going home now on the Metro North, the other railroad. And then I had this empty tissue box one was filled with ping pong balls, one was empty. And I just was like, that's the worst feeling when you're like, you're on a train, you're in long in between stops. And you're like, you're not going to get to the bathroom. You know, your brain tells you like you have just enough time to get out of your seat and like go to near the door, but you don't have enough time to get to the bathroom. And then that's the worst feeling is like you check your purse and you're like, what can I throw up in? Because I'm going to throw up. You're like, is my purse going to get it? Well, actually, shoot. Now I've done it like 3 times because one time I threw up in a purse. Threw it out.
That's like the worst.
That's when I lived in Queens. I threw up in my purse and it was like, all right, this is TJ Maxx. I can let this go. I tried to clean it. The smell wouldn't come out. I threw it down the garbage chute in Queens, like this old building in Astoria. Threw it down. I'm like, bye, purse. The next week I see the super's wife carrying it around. And I was like, could this be a coincidence? Could it be a coincidence? I'm like, no, it's not a coincidence because it had come as part of like an old luggage set from TJ Maxx. You know what I mean? Like it had a really specific like tote bag. And I was like, whoa. She was carrying around. But yeah, I threw up in this Kleenex box and then had to carry it.
That was our last show. I think that was our last show.
I guess I know why now.
I'm so sorry. I threw up in the tissue boxes.
I ruined the prop. Yeah. And then I had to just hold it the whole way. And then I was like, the smell's going to come out. So I put the other tissue box on top of it. And I just felt it was like warm. There's nothing worse than holding your own puke.
Yak.
Like you have to keep it with you, you know, like.
I threw up on Long Island Railroad once, coming home from a hardcore show. I went to see a band called Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
And I was sitting on the train, and I was like, oh, this isn't good. I'm not good. So I tried to fall asleep so I could let it go, like just okay. And I like woke up, and I was like, and I projectile vomited across the seat. Like, and luckily there was nobody. It was just like me and people, like, and like us, like just the middle seat was thankfully empty, and I just, and I was just like, yeah, all my good stories just have to do with drinking. So, and I definitely have thrown up in a few cabs.
Oh yeah, I had to tell a cab driver to stop multiple times on my way home once.
No, I went to throw up on my feet in a cab. And I was wearing sandals. It was like August. No, it was just the worst.
Yeah, something tells me, Sam, you're not like a delicate throw-upper. You know what I mean? I feel like when you throw up, you mean it, you know?
When I throw up, it's like, it's forceful. It's like, my body is just like it's a political statement. The power
statement.
of Christ compels you out. Like, it's fucked up. It is just like, projectile vomiting is very much a part of my life.
Your brand.
It's on brand. Projectile vomiting is on brand for me. It's disgusting.
Boy. That's good. Let's see. Never have I ever been into anything like a little fetishy sexually. Not to get back to it. Yee.
I think we're all waiting for you to explain, like, how fetishy are you talking?
Yeah.
Anything like outside any little extra, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, Danny boy.
Well, you would never have I ever, or a fetish?
No, I want to hear about your fetish times.
Well, one young lady requested that I wasn't opposed to, calling her my little girl, Dad.
How young?
Oh my God.
Yeah, one young lady. How young?
She's in her 30s. At the time, she was about 28. I was about 45.
She was already a young lady.
So, you know, but I mean, she was a veteran, an Iraq War veteran. So she was covered in tattoos. So she didn't seem very little girl-like to me.
That makes sense because, like, she lived a hard life. She's seen a lot of shit. She wants to go back to a time where,
that might be. I mean, it's a common enough fetish.
You just want to go back to the time of pudding snacks and swing sets. I don't know. Well, I'm not a psychologist.
But it is a common fetish from my Googling.
Did you call her? Did you call it? You're okay with it?
Pardon?
You were okay with it?
No, I enjoyed it. I liked it. Yeah. I ain't gonna put it all on her and say it was her idea. It was her idea, but I didn't object.
Yeah.
Daddy likey.
So were you into it?
Pardon?
I said you didn't object, but were you into it? Like, is it something you carried on to future relationships?
I have done it since.
Yeah, you probably have to like.
What's that?
Was it your idea?
I did it once with a girl that was in her 40s. I mean, it wasn't because they're young. It was just,
Yeah, it puts you in a nice like mental space.
Well, it's perverted, no question.
There are worse things for sure. You know, you're not like shitting on anybody's chest.
No, I'm not into that. No.
Yeah.
Jim Norton claims to be into that. I never believed it. I always thought he was just saying that to be provocative, but maybe it's true.
No one will ever know for sure.
Just the cleanup alone, it can't be worth it.
I know.
I could never be part of that. I have a hard enough time just shitting at all regularly, ever. Like to imagine to try to do it on call. Like I would get my butthole's already like an introvert, you know, like it's already like not. It would just be
cooperating.
Like, no. Yeah, it's already like I'm. Yeah. Hmm.
Definitely into some Dom stuff.
Yeah.
I like that.
You like to be domed, or you will dom someone
No,
else?
no, I will Dom someone else.
I see that. I see that, Josie.
Women prefer the submissive role, I would thought, or think, or I don't know.
I can be a switcher, a switcher upper.
Yeah, we could play
Definitely.
shortstop. We can
Yeah.
do it all.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
So you're outside the mainstream, Chrissy. You're outside the mainstream fetish.
Me? One time, this was like, okay, I know I've told the story a lot, but like I was in a store trying on a latex costume at this place called, what's her name? Her name's the Baroness. She takes herself very seriously. And I guess she should if you're selling like $500 latex outfits. It's, I don't know why, it's just like you have to treat it a certain way. I got it for like this like photo shoot or whatever. I don't know. I was like asking her about all the things behind her counter, and all of a sudden she like talked me into like letting her like just hit me with stuff. I was like, what does that feel like? What does that feel like? She took this like, it's called a cane, like caning or whatever. It looks like the thing that you like turn your shades with, that like opens and shuts your shades, like the little plastic rod. She was like, whoop-ah! And it was like the craziest pain I've ever felt in my life.
Were you wearing the outfit at the time?
Yeah, I was wearing like a skirt or something. I might have been in between outfits or whatever. And I was like, man, it's expensive. It was just like, it hurts so much that you're giddy. Like I was running around the store, like
Did you get a discount
like
for
something
letting
out of
her
this.
beat you?
No, and it was just one hit because after that I was like, I'm done. I'll buy whatever. It hurt so much, but I was like, I liked that. I was like, I didn't. Yeah, like right across the fat part. Well, all of it's fat, but like right across the middle of your ass, like the full middle cheek part. And it left some mark, but not as much of a mark as it felt like it should have left. And I was like, because she's like a professional, and she's like, you can rent me for parties. She didn't say that in those words, but like you could rent her for parties and like have her over to like, and I'd come over and hit you with stuff. But yeah, like that's something I would like love to do more of, but it's like, who has, where are you going to keep all that stuff? You're going to buy a little like table just to get hit on. Like, where am I to, I hope I can eat dinner off of it too. I don't have the room to have, it has to be multifunctional. It's like, it should be an ironing board and like a spanking, whatever. I just, maybe I'll get into it later.
Why do you have to be laying down to like?
No, but I feel like you need equipment. I feel like you need.
Yeah. Like I have a little like whip.
Yeah. I have one
Do you think it's like drugs though, where like it would never be as good as the first time,
I think it's probably just like how some people are with like butt plugs or dildos. Like if you get used to one thing and you're like, you're either okay with it or you're like, I gotta level up to the next thing, before you know it, you're sticking the plastic fist in your,
Before you know it, you're just waking up and punching yourself in the face.
Yeah. Before you know it, you're like, sticking a lantern up there. You're like, whatever I can get. Yeah, I don't know. I think, I wonder if I would just be like, I don't know. Yeah, like just ramping it up to the point where you're like, and I broke my own leg. But yeah, it's weird. It's hard to like, I thought, you think during like times like this, like, oh, quarantine, you're at home, you can like have all the sex, but it ends up like, oh no, you're not in the mood for that because you're worried about the world.
In fear for your life.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would be the perfect time for caning.
Probably just go out to like find somebody in Antifa and just be like, could you just hit me like right there? Or just throw a brick right at my throat. Thanks.
Just use those long things they do the coronavirus test with. You just whack people.
Oh my
with
God. I would rather do almost anything than have that again. That's the worst. Have you guys ever had that test?
Oh, you had it?
Yeah, I had it.
Oh my God.
When I came back from Mexico. When I came back from Mexico at the beginning of February, it was just like popping off Corona. Like, but Mexico was so chill about it. Like when we went, like from Mexico back to New York, they were like, have you, like at Mexican customs, they were like, have you been to China in the last 10 days? And I was like, you're holding my passport. Like you can check. No, I haven't, you know? And they're like, oh, how are you feeling? We're like, fine. I'm like, okay, go. You know, they were just so low key about it. But then I had like stomach poisoning because we ate ramen. Like we had some kind of Asian food at the Mexican airports. Of course, like that's going to give you stomach poisoning. But I had these
too many cultures at once.
It was too, you can't, yeah, you got to stick to the culture of the place that you're in and the food from that place. Yeah. And so, but I was like throwing up and real sick. So I didn't know what it was at first. So then they stuck it way up my nose. They're like, it won't hurt. And then it literally goes into your brain. It's the worst feeling. And then my nose bled. I was like, I hate you. I'll never come here again.
Wow.
Who put you up to this? Yeah.
Fist in the ass sounds better.
It's the worst pain. I would rather that.
Yeah.
Negative though?
What?
Did you get a negative?
Oh yeah, negative. Nice. Well, it's not like you could get it through the Zoom.
I'm just worried about you.
I was just like,
I don't want you to have it.
It was like in February, right?
Can I ASMR it to you? Yeah. Yeah, that was February. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we could wrap this up unless anyone's got one they've been holding on to.
Oh, I got like 8 more.
Oh my God, where have you been?
What was that, Will?
No, I'm just fucking around. I don't have any.
No.
I got a drawing of a guy's head and it says yo.
What are you in 8th grade?
I mean, I was just
yeah, that's where he writes his homework.
Yeah. Yo.
Assignments.
Yo.
Yeah. I was a big doodler too.
I'm doodler. Got a ninja. I'm doing Kevin Brennan's. Not to brag. I'm doing Kevin Brennan's next Wednesday.
No, go ahead. So let's all start plugging stuff. Yeah.
So that's my reminding myself.
I like it. I like it.
Got a dirty bong.
A dirty. Oh boy. That's gross. One time in college, I drank the bong water. It was the very first time I didn't know anything about bongs, and I wanted to seem cool, like I knew how they worked. And yeah, I was a freshman, and I was on the diving team. So I'm in this room, all these other swimmers and divers, and so it's like, of course you want to look cool. And they're like, oh, you don't work a bong? I was like, of course I do. So I leaned all the way back because I used to play the saxophone, so I was basically approaching it the same way. And I just like leaned way too far back. All of a sudden, slurp. I was like, and then like, everyone's going, oh, no. And I was like, what? No, it's okay. I saved some for you guys. Like, I didn't take it all. I didn't.
Oh, man.
I thought that was like part of the experience. And like, that is a time I have that I threw up. Like, that's like top 5 throw ups after that.
Wow.
It was dirt. It was the worst tasting. It tasted like a foot stuck in a butt. Stuck in a garbage can.
I drank it once, but I was like so shit-faced when I did it that I don't even remember it at all. And I think it actually just hydrated me a little bit. So it's like...
If you want, that just reminded me. I can leave you with a really good vomit story.
Okay.
You want another one?
Yes.
I was coming home from another hardcore show. I used to drink a lot. I've thrown up more in my hardcore days, definitely, than in my comedy days. And I was hammered I was on the FDR. We were stuck in traffic, and my friend looked at me and he was just like, "Are you gonna throw up?" And I was like, "Mm-hmm." And he was like, "That way." He leaned over me, opened the window. That was very, very like brave of him. And I hung out the window in traffic, throwing like one of those things where it's like it's pulling on your stomach, so the vomit is going down the side of the door. And in the car next to us were a bunch of frat boys, and they were like, "Yeah!" And I was just like, "Oh, somebody kill me!" Like, and it was. I'm so glad that like I have no idea. I'm sure there are pictures or video of that somewhere, because it was probably like, I don't know, 2007. 2006, like, so like there's probably some really terrible like flip phone video of that stuff.
On the dark web somewhere.
Oh yes. but I just remember like a car full of frat boys like wooing me on. I was like, God, I fucking hate if I stop drinking.
It was 2007.
Give or take. I
Okay.
don't know. I started comedy in 2010, so years before that.
So it's like that was around the time like guys in class would shout out. They'd be like, "Dick, Dick." Like, Will, you seem like the kind of guy that would from the back of the class would be like, "Dick."
Dick? Yeah. I was that guy. That's why I started laughing as soon as he did it. I was like, "That's a great one, Chrissy."
Yeah, you'd be like, "Asshole."
Asshole. We used to say boot, which was even dumber than all that. We used to just say boot.
Wait, to throw up or just to say the word?
Just to say the word, just to say it, just to in class, just to get the teacher.
All the dumb things to do to like to like confuse the teacher, like confuse the substitute teacher. To us, that was like the height of rebellion. It like never occurred to us to like shoot everybody. You know, we were like, we're just gonna call the substitute a dick. You know?
Yeah. Say boot. He'll have no idea.
I'm gonna speed up the clock 10 minutes so we can leave early. Oh, those were the
good old days.
All right, guys, this was so much fun. They're going to go around, plug your social media or anything you want to. Sammy B.
I have a live podcast I do every Tuesday on Instagram. It's called XVY. It's where I'm Generation X. It's me and another comedian. He's Generation Y, Alex Vasella. And we just talk about pop culture things from the from our points of views from our different generations. So it's every Tuesday on my Instagram page.
And what are your socials?
Socials, it's what am I? Samantha SJ Bednarz, all around except Twitter, which is Bednarz Samantha, because somebody got my fucking name on there.
We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him one day. All right, Danny boy.
At Dan Naturman on Twitter and Instagram, and that's your gateway to all things Dan Natterman.
Yes, and if you're a single lady, hit him up for some kinky shit. Josie.
Call me Daddy. Okay. Josie After Hours at Instagram. After Hours with a Z, because that's just how we do it. Every Thursday, 9 p.m., we do a live stream at letsgetloud.com with Larry Bea. And again, just Instagram, Josie After Hours, and you'll see everything there.
Awesome. Carla.
I'm at Carla Oakerson on Instagram, Carla ESQ on Twitter, and every Friday I have a podcast at 9 on Governor's Radio called Domestic Disturbance.
Ooh.
Where I am the liberal psycho and I scream at two white guys.
And maybe you'll have some guests on from Merrick. All right, Jim.
I got a podcast, Everybody is Awful. It's out every Monday and Thursday.
Awesome. Will.
I got a YouTube show, The Noonan Show. It's on every single Thursday. And
is it on at noon? Please tell me it's on at noon.
It's actually on at 1. It should be on at noon. But I'd rather it be at 1. It gives me like an hour. But yeah, subscribe if you can.
Awesome. All right. And you guys know all my stuff, at Chrissy Mayer for everything, Wet Spot on Compound Media. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. This was so much fun. You guys are great.
Thank you.
Hope to see you soon. Have a great rest of your quarantine.
Good to see you, everyone.
All right. Bye.
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 Bye.